I want to talk some more about your days reviewing tech. I think you were kind of doing that at a pivotal moment in technology. I mean, you saw the iPhone get rolled out. I listened back to an obituary from, I think we're coming up on just the 10th year anniversary of it, your obituary of Steve Jobs that aired on Sunday morning. I have a little clip of that.
Steve Jobs was one of the greatest designers to come along in decades, and one of the greatest marketers and businessmen and visionaries. All of those things in one person.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think Steve was absolutely a visionary, and you had to some extent a personal relationship with him, right? He would call you at home to rant about things that you'd written he disagreed with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
Wild.
he had no problem calling up journalists and screaming at them. He was very thin-skinned. He was just the epitome of an interesting person because he was a big baby. He was a tyrant and cruel sometimes, but also obviously, a genius of the kind that rarely comes along. He just knew what was coming 5 or 10 years out, or if you didn't know, he made it so, over and over again. I remember, oh man, I'll just give you a couple of quick examples. So one time, Apple removed from their Macs this jack it had always had called Firewire. And the beauty of the Firewire jack is you could connect it up to your camcorder and digitize the home movies you'd taken. And Apple promoted this. They invented iMovie. They said now anyone can be a video editor. And then after a few years, they eliminated the jack, and we were all just screwed as far as I was concerned. So I wrote about that. And he called me up to rant, and he said, you don't know what we do here at Apple, do you? We know things that you will never know. I mean, he just was so on fire. And I said, Steve, look, I happen to be one of those people who got the iMovie bug. You convinced me. I'm the guy who takes videos on our camcorder of vacations and holidays. And then I edit them down into beautiful little 5-minute things. And he goes, well, how many of you edited down? I'm like, well, none yet. I'm busy. I've got 3 little kids. I'm in the middle of my life. And he goes, you're never going to edit those movies, David. You're never going to edit those.
It's unbelievable.
And my blood ran cold because he was right. I hadn't edited any of them. It was just an intention. When was I going to stop being too busy to do it? In 40 years? And for many, many, many years, I thought back to that conversation, and he was right. I didn't have time. And the raw footage piled up on backup hard drives, and I never got around to editing them. And I sometimes do it, but not the way I intended to. So he knew about me. He knew about the public without any of us realizing it. And I'll give you one other quick example. I had done this song parody when the iPhone came out in 2007 to the tune of
David. I have a little clip of that.
Oh, you have it on hand? Okay.
Let's let the people know, because I love this. This is a parody of My Way.
I too will join the cult. I want an iPhone.
So good. You have to watch the rest of that video, but please continue.
So I made this video. I went to the Apple store in New York, where people had been standing in line for a week to get the first iPhone. And I got some of the people in line to sing pieces of the song. It went viral. And then I was out to dinner with my family one night. It was like 6:30 p.m. And I get this call, and it's his administrative assistant. And she says, Dave, I have Steve on the line. He'd like to talk to you. Do you have a moment? Like, okay. I mean, the whole song made fun of iPhone mania, right? It pointed out that the thing had you couldn't remove the battery, and it couldn't take memory cards, and it just sort of mocked the people who were overhyping it. So I knew he was going to just rip me a new one. And he got on. He goes, David, I gotta say, one of my people showed me your iPhone video, the song you did, and I gotta say, I thought about it, and I I want to tell you, I think it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, are you kidding me? He loved it. He goes, I'm wondering if you could send me a copy of the QuickTime file, the original, so I can have it. So, so you never knew which way he was going to blow. You know, it was hot and cold. It was, you're a hero, you're a devil. It was interesting.
That's amazing. What a unique guy. And the fact that this global CEO was calling you about iPhone parodies and reviews, I mean, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, he got his hands dirty in the PR world. He did.
So cool.